A federal appeals court has ordered the Trump regime to bring back a man who was deported to El Salvador in violation of a direct judicial order. The Second Circuit Court of Appeals in New York demanded that the administration explain how it plans to comply and account for the man's current location and custody status. The ruling appears to signal growing judicial frustration over repeated violations of court orders by immigration officials. Jordin Melgar-Salmeron, a 31-year-old father of four from Virginia, was deported on the 7th of May, just 28 minutes after a court order was issued blocking his removal. This occurred despite explicit assurances from the government that no flight would be scheduled until the following day. Government lawyers later blamed administrative errors for the removal. The court's latest ruling comes in the wake of similar legal defiance in the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was deported to El Salvador earlier this year despite a standing 2019 immigration court decision that blocked his return due to fears of persecution.
Who did say that he was a member of MS-13 was law enforcement officers that encountered this individual.
Yeah, he knows that. This is a Fourth Circuit judge. He knows all of what the evidence is, and he's saying if that evidence... So you're not going to commit to follow this order. You won't commit to follow this court order.
By the way, he identified
Madam Secretary,
himself.
I reclaim my time. Stop filibustering. Stop filibustering.
By gang members of MS-13.
Will you give Mr. Abrego Garcia the due process that the Supreme Court and Judge Wilkinson has required you to give him?
Abrego Garcia is an El Salvador resident who is in his home country. If he were to come back to this country, he would be immediately removed again.
How do you know?
He has received and been treated appropriately, and he is not.
How can you say he's been treated appropriately if the Supreme Court has ruled 9-0 that he hasn't been treated appropriately? Why is your opinion better and have more authority than the Supreme Court?
Investigators, 2 judges, an immigration court that all said he was MS-13 and was removed from this country.
But you understand, that is you saying that. That is you saying that.
That is them saying that.
No. That is you making that determination.
Against him. If you don't trust
the court has considered all that. The judge has considered all that, Madam Secretary. And if you would be quiet because I'm reclaiming my time, you are not following this court order.
After weeks in El Salvador's Saycot prison, he was eventually repatriated to the U.S., where prosecutors charged him in a questionable human smuggling case. Today's ruling instructs government officials to provide a sworn declaration within a week detailing Melgar-Salmeron's whereabouts and custodial conditions, along with concrete steps for his return. However, the court declined to appoint a special master, stating that government counsel had made reasonable and diligent efforts to comply. Melgar-Salmeron's case isn't isolated. 3 other individuals have recently been removed from the country in apparent violation of court directives. These include a Venezuelan man, Daniel Lozano Camargo, and a Guatemalan woman known only as OCG, who was deported to Mexico despite previous reports of rape and abduction in that country. ICE's enforcement under Donald Trump's second term has seen a marked uptick in the arrest of migrants with no criminal records. According to recent ICE data, more than 11,700 detainees as of mid-June had no criminal convictions, an increase of 1,271% compared to figures before Trump's re-inauguration. This contradicts official claims that deportations are focused on violent criminals. While DHS officials insist their priority is dangerous offenders, data from both the Trump and Biden administrations show most immigration-related arrests involve individuals with minor infractions or no convictions at all. The surge in detentions has filled ICE's facilities beyond capacity. Although the system was built to hold around 41,500 individuals, current figures show over 56,000 are in custody. Protests against mass ICE raids have also intensified, notably in Los Angeles, where Trump deployed thousands of National Guard troops, federalized them, and then sent in the Marines, despite local law enforcement deeming the situation under control. Critics have drawn parallels between ICE's current tactics and those used by authoritarian regimes, citing the use of masked agents and militarized enforcement. DHS propaganda has also been criticized for fostering a climate of fear, including posters calling on citizens to report undocumented immigrants, an echo of Cold War surveillance culture. The regime's aggressive tactics appear to have created political fallout. Protests have gained momentum nationwide, and opposition leaders have taken high-profile stances. California Senator Alex Padilla was arrested while challenging DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, and New York City mayoral candidate Brad Lander was detained by masked agents in an immigration court.
But most importantly, we have to get the criminals out of our country. And Biden let in thousands and 11,888 murderers. Many of them murdered more than one person. Can you believe it? Many, almost 50% of them murdered more than one person. He let them into our country. They emptied out the jails of countries from all over the world, from the Congo, from Venezuela, from all over the place. They emptied out the jails, many of them. I would. If I were running one of the countries, I would have emptied out my prison population into the U.S., and many countries did. And we're getting them out. Okay, we're getting them out.
These actions follow a reported directive from Trump officials on May 21, demanding ICE ramp up arrests to 3,000 a day. The directive came during a contentious meeting between DHS Secretary Kristi Noem and Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller, the architect of Trump's racist, white supremacist crackdown. Miller's role has drawn further scrutiny this week due to his financial stake in Palantir Technologies, the defense contractor with close ties to the regime's immigration data initiatives. Disclosures reveal Miller holds between $100,000 and $250,000 worth of Palantir stock, which he reportedly acquired after Trump's first term, but before implementation of the current immigration crackdown. Palantir, started by Peter Thiel, whose stock has soared 80% this year, was recently awarded a contract to develop a massive data-sharing platform for federal agencies. With record-high ICE detentions and widespread criticism from civil liberties groups and legal experts, the Trump regime's authoritarian immigration policies are facing renewed legal and political challenges as the authoritarian dictatorial takeover of the American government is underway. I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with MeidasTouch.
Love this video? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch and help us blow past 1 million followers.